Well, it's looking like that's all she wrote for this series. RedNationBlogga back. Game 5 analysis. Phoenix, Milwaukee Bucks, finals. This is the time of the year that if you're a basketball fan, this is some of the best basketball being played. Some of the best performances are being made, and history is being written right in front of your face. But tonight, man, I have to give the Milwaukee Bucks a ton of credit. I would also, even though they lost, I would like to give the Phoenix Suns a ton of credit because they fought back. They started off hard. They punched Milwaukee in the mouth. I think it was 37-21 after the first quarter. But Milwaukee was able to get in this game, stay in this game, and ultimately take this game back over once Devin Booker went to the bench and Milwaukee came storming back and I think got the lead. And from that point on, Milwaukee just kind of built. And ultimately, before building a double-digit lead, and Phoenix fought back, got to give them credit for fighting back. But this game, man, I believe that Milwaukee has figured Phoenix out. And Phoenix, frankly, is too much of a finesse team, and Milwaukee is too much of a physical team, and power is outdoing finesse right now. Power is outdoing finesse. Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, Giannis Antetokounmpo, PJ Tucker, even Brook Lopez. These guys can play defense and offense so well, and the versatility that they all have. They all have specialties on defense in their own special way. Drew, you could put Drew on Devin Booker. You could put Drew on Chris Paul. You could put Drew on Mikal Bridges. You could put Drew on anybody on the Suns outside of probably DeAndre Ayton, and you're going to get a positive defensive result. And that goes for Chris Middleton. That goes for Giannis. This is one of the most versatile defensive teams in the NBA, and it's funny that it's just now being shown on this stage, even though I feel like they've probably been doing it all year. I just feel like against the Hawks, I don't remember the Bucks looking like this. I remember game 6, them looking like this defensively, but Giannis didn't play that game. But the way that they've looked in games 3 through 5, this is a completely different ball club on the defensive side of the ball. And Drew Holiday finally woke up on the offensive side of the ball. And if Drew Holiday wakes up and Chris Middleton's making shots, and if Giannis is knocking down turnaround jumpers in the mid-range, getting in the paint, getting to the free throw line, even if he goes 4 for 10, you're not winning. you're not winning. And that's what actually happened. And I just love how they all put their imprints on the game in different ways, man. I love that dynamic. Drew Holiday getting to the bucket, knocking down mid-range shots, knocking down threes, facilitating. Chris Middleton getting to the bucket, knocking down threes, knocking down mid-range shots. Giannis just knocking down mid-range after mid-range, being a relentless force on the middle, tipping balls, giving extra possessions, catching alleys, setting screens. I got to give it to Giannis, man. A lot of players like for everything to run through them. And Giannis knows when to take a back seat. He knows when to take a back seat. He knows when to implement himself into the game. And that is so hard to find because most guys, it's like them or bust. You know what I'm saying? Especially this late in the season, especially with these types of stakes. But Giannis letting Middleton do what he does, letting Drew Holiday do what he does, that's big, man. And then he can just kind of coast through the game and find his way. And then when it's time for him to step up in the third quarter, boom, he goes right to work. DeAndre Ayton can't do nothing. He's probably too strong for Ayton and too quick for Ayton and long. He looks longer than Ayton. And Ayton didn't have any problems with him. Did have problems with him. For Phoenix, I don't know. They're too perimeter oriented for me. They're using a number 1 overall pick in DeAndre Ayton like Clint Capella. I don't like it. And I know people say, well, DeAndre Ayton gets touches and he misses. Yeah, but he's not. His entire career, from his rookie year, he's only been in the league for 3 years, but his rookie season and his sophomore season, he was never just predominantly pick and rolling, and only touching the ball off of offensive rebounds. He's always been he can put his back to the basket, he can face up, he can knock down shots. And they don't feed him enough. It's always Devin Booker or bust. It's Chris Paul or bust. And how they want to use their offense, which is beautiful, I'm not gonna lie. How they want to use their offense is they want to set the tone with DeAndre Ayton pick and rolling, and then it opens up everything for everybody else with his gravity. And I understand that. But when you're struggling and Cameron Payne not knocking down shots, and Jay Crowder not knocking down shots, and Cameron Johnson not making an imprint on the game, and you have a low post threat, you should feature him, even if it's for 3, 4, 5 straight possessions. Just feature him and make him feel involved. Then he'll go back to being a force that he was. Every time Phoenix has dominated a series or a game, DeAndre Ayton has been the talking point of the game or the talking point of the series. He was leading the league, or he probably still is, in field goal percentage all playoffs. Why? Because he was dominant in the middle. He felt involved in the offense. This series, since they've been losing, they don't look towards him. Anytime, even when they lose a game in the playoffs, not just series, but just in the first round, second round, third round, when they lose games, it's like they get away from DeAndre Ayton too early for me. They don't establish him. They don't look to feed him. They just get away from him, and then it's Chris Paul and it's Devin Booker, and it's ISO or bust, or create a wide open 3, or every once in a while they'll catch the defense slipping and DeAndre Ayton will get loose and get a dunk. But for me, I just want them to feature DeAndre Ayton a little bit more than what they're featuring him on the offensive side of the ball. Because, I mean, Chris Paul, I believe, had 19 points tonight, but it wasn't really an impactful 19. It wasn't really an impactful 19. Even his assist numbers were nice. His turnover numbers were low. But I didn't feel like Chris Paul inserted himself on the game. And I feel like sacrifice a little bit of those assist numbers and get your big involved. Let him touch the ball. Now, if he goes 1 for 6 the next game and they try to feature him, I'm wrong. Hey, I'm the bad guy. But I just think that they need to feature him a little bit more and get him involved, because ultimately, what do you have to lose at this point? The way that you've been trying to play, Milwaukee is not allowing you to play that style of ball. So you need to switch it up and show Milwaukee a different look, because this isn't working. What you're doing is not working. And I just, Chris Paul struggling to get past Bobby Portis in isolation, and Devin Booker is the only one that's really getting in the offense. And sometimes he's trying to press and get his offense so much he takes bad shots, and Phoenix don't get any type of rhythm. Nobody else touches the ball. I believe the only role player that really had any kind of significant offensive impact was Mikal Bridges, and even that impact didn't feel like anything. If I'm Milwaukee and I'm looking at the game plan, Mikal Bridges 5 of 6. 3 threes, okay, I'll take that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if as long as I get this type of performance from Ayton and this type of performance from Chris Paul, which on the box score looks nice, but in terms of impact is not, then I'm good. I don't need that. I live with that. I mean, you know, I just don't want Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton getting off, because then that's when you have a problem. But ultimately, man, Mike Budenholzer, I want to give a huge shout out to you, because I've been critical of him this entire postseason. I've been calling them the dumbest good team in basketball, but they look like they about to win 4 in a row. Milwaukee in 6. That's what a lot of people have been saying. That's what Milwaukee been saying. Finals MVP predictions, at this point, I do not know. I want to say Chris Middleton. I believe that if anybody was going to win Finals MVP for the Bucks, it'll be Chris Middleton. But we know how these agendas are. We know how Giannis got 2 MVPs, a Defensive Player of the Year. A Finals MVP seals that for him. So we'll see how that goes. Game 6 on Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm not sure. I don't know. But till next time, I'm out. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe.